Shalom, Yashala. His brother Mapathat, right? That'd be key, but in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, right? And this is gonna be a quick video. I'm kind of just gonna play this video off this YouTube channel, Dabu77, just kind of keeping brothers and sisters updated on this famine that's coming. You understand, right? Famine is coming to Babylon the Great. Famine is coming to America, right? It's imminent, right? It's going to happen, right? Yahweh Shai prophesied of these things, right? It's all throughout the scriptures, right? And before we go into this video, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. That's all praise, honor, and glory unto the Most High God, whose name is Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, but we know him as Yahweh Shai, right? The righteous, right? And I want to dive right into this thing, and if the Spirit guides us, we can get some precepts as well. But I'm gonna just play this video for brothers and sisters, right?
This is Dabu7. I want to talk about 22 facts here that are connected to this emerging global food shortage that is all staged. And that is, number one, that this whole thing is orchestrated and staged en masse globally and has been ever since they were starting to stop the ships at the West Coast ports in the United States. You could tell that something was up. Now, this is going to be something that's kind of like boiling the frog, kind of a slow kill that's going to happen throughout this year, and it's already begun. All you got to do is go to the grocery store, and you're going to see the prices have went through the roof. You're also going to notice...
Right, we already seeing that. We already seeing the prices rising, right, on everything. I believe it was said that since last year, and this year just started, it's only been 4 months in this new year. The prices of food have rise 20.7% just since last year, right? It's going to continue to rise, right?
Some items have went missing. Some items have been gone for a while. They've never returned. And when we look at some of the statements being made here and what's happening around the globe, it starts to become clear that by the end of this year, it's going to be pretty bad because it's already getting there right now. Now, one of France's most important government officials is telling us that we should brace ourselves for an extremely serious global food crisis. Same thing others are echoing. Joe Biden recently admitted that food shortages are going to be real, and they're openly using the word famine to describe what is coming. Germany, as of yesterday, announced that supermarkets are going to have items go up 20 to 50%. Rationing has already begun in Spain. Rationing has already begun in Greece. The head of Black...
And rationing, he said rationing have already begun in Spain, and rationing have also already begun in Greece. And just for edification's sake, just in case somebody watching don't really understand what rationing is, it's basically like if when you go into the grocery store, the staff can tell you it's a limit on apples. Like, for example, you can only buy 3 apples a family, right? It can only be 2 chickens bought a family, right? They're rationing what people are buying because of the lack of food. You understand? And that's going to be coming to America as well.
Rock put out an ominous warning, saying that this is going to be the first time that this generation is going to have to go into a store and then not be able to get what they want. So the writing's on the wall, and they're making it clear. This is what's happening. Since this time last year, some of the fertilizer prices out there have increased by 300%. Many farmers in Africa are not going to be able to afford fertilizer at all this year. It's being projected that this will reduce the agricultural production by the amount capable of feeding 100 million people. Russia is normally one of the biggest global exporters of fertilizer, but that's stopping along with Belarus. In a typical year, Russia and Ukraine collectively account for about 30% of all global wheat exports, which is getting clipped and shut down.
See that? And global and Russia together, they account for 30% of global wheat exports, and that's being shut down, man. Right, because of the war that they're having. Right, and even Putin said in an article I read like 2 days ago, he said like until those that's putting sanctions on Russia's so like on Russia and those that's not the friends of Russia, hey, he's not going to be sending food out into those nations. You understand? Hey, so this thing is getting real. You understand? And you have to prepare spiritually, right? You have to pray that the Lord increase your faith and for these things, right? Because this thing could get real, man. Right? Let me bring out a precept real fast. This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 9, and it reads, I'll bring it out on Blue Letter, so like it, bear with me. I'll bring it out on here. Right? So this is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 9, and it reads, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. So it's better to get slain with the sword than to be slain with hunger. Right? Because when you're dying of hunger, I believe he said at the beginning of the video, it's like being boiled, man. Right? It's like he said something like it's like a frog being boiled. Right? But the point is, it's a long and a slow, painful death. You understand? Right? If you're slain with the sword, you kind of just you get thrust through, you bleed out, and you give up the ghost. But when you're dying from hunger, hey man, that's a painful death, man, and it's long and grievous, right? And it says, "For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the fields," right? But the point is, hey, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, right? So, hey, going through a famine is something that we can't even really fathom, right? We can't really fathom this thing. Jake say they starving after damn 2 hours of not eating. Right? After 5 hours of not eating, Jake is starving. Right? Imagine not eating for damn 2 weeks, man. Right? Imagine not eating for 5 days. Right? For 3 weeks. Whatever it may be. Imagine not eating for that long, man. Right? So, right, I just wanted to bring that out. Let's go back to the video.
Half of Africa's wheat imports usually comes from either Russia or Ukraine.
Bear with me. Let me get one more precept, right? Because like he said, hey, they're already doing rationing in Spain and in Greece, telling you how many things you can buy, right? And constantly, if you're kind of getting into it, you scrolling up and down social media, whatever it may be, right? Just looking into the prophecies, you will see how a lot of brothers and sisters, they going into the grocery stores and the shelves are always empty, man, right? And these are all prophetic. Right? It's going to get worse and worse. It's not getting better in America, man. You got brothers in this truth praying that America get better, man, because they want their business to flourish, man. Right? Because they want to see their kids grow up and go to damn college, man. Right? But hey, America is not getting better, right? So I'm gonna bring this out. The second Esdras of the 6th and verse 22, classic precept. It says, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown." Right? So all the places that's usually sown, right? Like America. You go into all her grocery stores, they're usually sown. It's usually a lot of foods in there. You understand? They're usually flourishing. It says the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. But all those full storehouses, they're going to suddenly be found empty, man. Right? And we're constantly seeing these things in these last days. Right? We're constantly going into the grocery markets, right? The supermarkets and seeing empty shelves. Right? Shelves that used to be full, right? 4 or 5 years ago. Right, 3 or 4 years ago. Now when you go in there, they're always empty, man. Right? So I'm gonna go back to the video.
Print. Other nations rely on wheat exports from both of those countries more than Africa does, like Armenia, Mongolia, Kazakhstan, Eritrea. And then that's not even talking about the larger buyers like Turkey, Egypt, Bangladesh, Iran. You've got Russia announcing that they're only going to export food to...
You see that? And it's going to be a lot of... It's not even just America, right? We focus on Slovakia. Kind of got to get my... Slovakia, I'm going to go into the... I'm just going to go into it on here, on my app. Right? So we focus on America because we prophesy the downfall of Babylon, but it's going to have the whole world in the uproar. Right? When the lack of food is going to have the whole world in the uproar. Right? Let's get another precept. Let's go to second Esdras chapter 9, because like he said, these other more poor nations, they're gonna feel it the worst, man. Right? Because a lot of these different nations, they count on Russia and Ukraine more than like America would, for example. Right? As far as for wheat and corn. Right? So I'm gonna bring this out. This is second Esdras chapter 9 and verse 3, and it reads, I'm gonna start from 1. It says, he answered me and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest the part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Right? And it says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, right? And that's a heavy point in itself as well, because we're seeing more earthquakes than we ever seen before in these last days, right? Every time you kind of go into the news articles, you see it's been an earthquake here. It's been an earthquake there. It's been 3 earthquakes in 4 hours in wherever, man. Right? It's a bunch of earthquakes, right? But this is the point I want. And upwards of the people in the world, right? So it's going to be upwards throughout the whole world, not just in Babylon, right? Hey, it's going to be upwards throughout the whole world in these last days, right? And it could start on a major scale from these food shortages, man. Because people need food, man. People need to eat to survive. So when it comes to people's well-beings, it's going to cause a lot of uproars. You understand? So let's go back to the video.
Friendly nations. It's been announced also in the same breath of all this that there's this bird flu situation that's popped up. Some 5 million egg-laying chickens in Iowa have been put down because of it. And they're saying that the death toll connected to this in Iowa alone is pushed beyond 13 million. That's 22 egg-laying chickens, 22 million egg-laying chickens, 1.8 million broiler chickens, 1.9 million pullet and other commercial chickens, and 1.9 million turkeys. So China's agricultural minister announcing that the winter wheat harvest in China could be the worst in history. We're being warned that the winter wheat harvest in the United States is going to be disastrous because of the massive severe drought that's going on across the West. We have one prominent U.S. farmer just making a statement saying that Americans are not going to like it here soon when they go to the grocery and their bill is up $1,000 in a month, because that's what's coming. That's coming from one of the top farmers. The head of the UN World Food Program says that what the planet is now facing is unlike anything that we've ever seen since the end of World War II. And it's going to be...
See that? And they said it's going to be, this is unlike anything that we've seen since the end of World War II. And this is only the beginning of sorrows. We haven't even really fully felt it yet as far as us as in America, right? But yet, hey, it's going to get worse and worse. This is just the beginning of sorrows, man. Right? They said this is unlike anything seen since the beginning of World War II, man. Right?
a disaster by the end of this year.
And hey, by the end of this year, the road as we know it can be completely changed, man. Right?
So there's some stuff just to lay out there. I mean, and some key points to take away from that. When you have, that comment from the head of BlackRock saying that this is the first time that this generation is going to go into a store and not be able to get what they want, man, writing's on the wall, folks. So we're going to leave some links. Join me for the live streams Monday, Wednesday, and...
Hey, man, this thing is getting real, right? I'm going to get one more precept and close out. So we have to be watching in these last days, man. There's a lot going on. Let's go to Matthew 24. This is the words of Yahushua. Matthew 24 and verse 6, and it reads, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars," right? And we see this coming to pass. "See that ye be not troubled," right? That's a heavy point, right? Yahushua said, don't be troubled, right? Don't be fearful. Don't wax faint. It says, "For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." Right? So like I said, this is just the beginning of sorrows, man. Right? The end is not yet, but we're close to the end. It says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines." See that? And we're seeing everything that I just read, we're seeing it coming to pass. Right? And it says, "And there shall be famines." That's what Yahushua said. So famine is coming. Right? Don't think you can kind of dodge this thing. Right? Don't think it might happen. I'm not sure. I stacked up a lot. Hey, famine is coming. Right? And it says, "And pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." And these things are coming to pass, man. This famine is coming, right? This famine is going to touch Babylon. Stop thinking that can only happen to the damn Hamites that you see damn begging for money on the damn commercials, man. Stop thinking that can only happen to the Ethiopians. Stop thinking that these things, stop thinking everything, war, famine, pestilence, and all these things can only come to these different nations and think America is untouchable, right? It's coming to America. It's coming to Babylon, right? So continue to watch, continue to pray, continue to fast, continue to study, right? Continue to, just, man, you got to pray for faith in these last days, man, and pray for the Lord's mercy, right? Pray that the Lord have mercy on you and your family, right, in these last days, man, because this is about to get real, right? And with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, and Shalom, Yasha'Allah.